Hi, all. This is Zaida Velgara from Becoming I Am, here to give you a random reading. So, just an FYI, it is a random reading. Not all the messages might be for you. Some of it can be random messages that I receive from different people or for different situations. So, it might not be linear, like a one story thing, just letting you know ahead of time. Also, remember, since it's a general public message, that doesn't necessarily mean it be directed towards you. So, whatever's yours, take it, and whatever's not, let it slide off of you like water off a dog's back. But if you do feel triggered by it, that's when you should do some kind of meditation work to figure out what it is and that triggered you from the situation. So, that being said, let's see what we're going to talk about. Today, I feel like I want to use some charms. Mm, mm. So, I have my rune book, but starting off, I didn't even know I had one of these, but this is a spirit thing. Okay. And we have the moon card and the moon card, the moon with the heart. And I feel like there's something going on in the spiritual realm that is directly going to be hitting your heart chakra, but I feel like you're being protected from it. And I was going to say it before, but I'm like, no, let me wait until I can explain it here because the next rune after this is algaes, and algaes is protection. So there is something being done in the spiritual realm. So this is something behind your back. This is gossiping behind your back. This is something hidden. This is whatever it is that is being done that you're not able to see, hear, know about. Um, you're being strongly protected about. Okay. And when I'm saying heart, it can it can be a situation where it's not necessarily your heart per se, but something that you really love. So this can be somebody trying to stop you from the career you have, reporting things that are not supposed to be there. So it can be somebody talking something about your kids. It can be somebody talking something against your character or something that you're very protective of and it's really close to your heart. And I'm saying talking because it can be talking, it can be an action being made or whatever. But whatever it is, even though it's done in the hidden, you will be protected from it. The next thing we have that is farther away is an orange star, and in the back I have written a star, and that literally is talking about your sacral space. That would be where your reproductive organs is, also with your divine child and your divine mother are. And because I had the star and the star, it's kind of telling me about the energy of Aquarius, which is your inner magic. So this is important too, because I feel like whatever's being triggered, targeted, blah, 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 is something linked to a belief system that you wanted, that you desired when you were a kid. Then we have this multi-sided dime. It reminds me of that game, Dungeons and Dragons, but this is talking about multidimensional energy, and there's something that you don't see in the multidimensional energy because it's backwards. And the room that we have is, again, let me look it up, Perth. And Perth has to do with some kind of initiation. So, and after that, we have the tree of life. I feel like you are being protected. Now, if I'm putting all these symbols together, I feel like your heart space is being protected from something like a spiritual attack, or a physical attack towards you that you're not able to see. It is in the spiritual. So it can be somebody ruminating about you. It can be somebody doing some kind of spell work against you. It can be somebody gossiping, trying to send an energy towards you. Because what people don't realize is that when they gossip about a person over and over again, they actually create an energetic being, right? That personifies their anger, their rage, their whatever towards a person. And it's to energetically attack them. And if the person is protected, it goes right back to the person that is sending it. You're being protected because you have a mission here. strongly protected because you have a mission here. And when it comes to like multiverse, multi dimensions, there's initiation happening in your life because it has to do with some kind of family role. It can be like a lineage thing, like an ancestry thing that you received. But this energy before, I want to see why it's coming up because it feels like it's trying to stop you from getting to where you have to go. So tell me about this thing that's trying to stop you. Here you are in peace, chilling, having quiet time with your baby, all calm and collected. Because this is my I'm chilling energy. And there's a game afoot. What is the game? Oh, I can't stop looking at the drink up in the corner, like the whiskey drink or whatever. And so it's all about the alcohol kind of energy. Abundance is coming out here. It's a get together, and there's a rat. And a rat that is trash is what I see with that. Oof. Then we have the snake eating its own tail in reverse. It's a cycle that won't not continue and that will not give the outcome that they want because the money card is upside down. And I also have the flower breaking through hard obstacles in reverse. So what I'm seeing here, and here goes the tree of life again. You're highly protected, and I have to say that right off the jump. I see that you're highly protected. I see that you are being initiated because there's something that you are programmed to complete in this lifetime. We all have something, okay? And it can be something so simple that nothing can happen to you until you turn 185, 365, right? Nothing can happen to you until you turn 365 and you speak to a specific person that is going to initiate something in their lives because you spoke of it, and that person will change the world. I'm like giving you something exaggerated so you understand, but this is what I mean by you're being protected because there is something you're supposed to be doing. And what's happening is with the cornucopia and all the blessings and whatever. The game is that this individual, these people, because it's a group of people, it's not one, it's a group of people. These people are trying to get your cornucopia and they're trash. But what they're being told is that they're not going to be able to move forward in it. And it feels like gossips, like gossiping, making a plan, thinking that they're going to be playing this game and winning. The world card is in reverse. Again, the cycle is not going to continue. And then we have this card that came out sideways, which is the Ten of Pentacles. Mm. Eight of Cups. Knight of Pentacles and Enlightenment, which is Judgment. And the Moon card came out again. In the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Coins, the Seven of Sticks, the Page of Cups, the Queen of Coins, and the Eight of Coins. Eight of Wands. I feel like as I'm looking at this, because the world card came in reverse. So there's a cycle that's not going to be allowed to continue. Okay. And this has to do with family. Like some kind of family dynamic is not going to be able to be allowed to continue. They're actually being pushed away or sent away. And the reason that they're doing that is because that's the only way to start creating a movement forward in this situation, right? Little by little, step by step. And I feel like the Pied Piper has played his like the final tone has already been, you know what, like trumpets of the end of the world, right? It's like the final trumpet has been sung and this is over. And then we have the moon card here, and I'm feeling like that has to do a lot with the new moon in Cancer that's coming next week. So the final countdown has already been sung, and by next week it should be done. And the bottom of the deck, we have some kind of partnership that has been blocked, but then it's going to start moving forward. You know, as I'm looking at all this, and now this reading is going to be a little obscure for some people because as I'm reading it, it is, I'm not surprised it's a little confusing because it doesn't feel like one situation. And I think that's why I told you, be in mind that this is not just one situation that can play out. It looks like it's multiple parts of this game happening at the same time because it feels like you're here in calm and peace. And there's a lot of people talking about you, but a lot of people are talking about you because there is a game afoot, right? It has something to do with drinking and alcohol and stuff like that, but there is a game afoot. And all has to do with some form of abundance. Okay. It's kind of like who's going to get the abundance. And it's like musical chairs. And right here, there's a rat that has now been determined that they will not receive this abundance. And then that's one story. And then the other story is continuing that. It's like the cycle is ending for this family, and somebody has to walk away because there's things that are trying to be created that cannot be created with this specific individual in the mix. And so I'm seeing that the final trumpet is being flown and that you'll see the effects of this around that 14th new moon energy. Then I'm seeing something else, and this goes to this part of the charms. Here, I feel like because of this scenario, energetically, you were being held up from some kind of very profitable connection that you're supposed to be. But it's because this had to close out before you could go to the next thing. Kind of like this had something to do with some kind of healing that you had to do in your heart space, this whole scenario. And if you're looking at the situation, you'd be like, that doesn't have to do anything with me. It just happened around me and I saw it and I did what I had to do and then I moved on, right? It was like something I saw from the outside, like a third party. I didn't think that had nothing to do with my abundance, my movement forward, my expansion, etc. But it did, because I feel like this had some kind of healing that you needed to close a door for. And once the door was closed, then you became very protected from this kind of energy and you were able to move into, connecting with your family tree, with people that are more like you. Um, I've seen this before. I've seen this before in my clients that I've seen. I've seen this before in scenarios out in the world where until they confronted a situation, until they decided, I'm not continuing this cycle, until they said no to a narcissistic relationship or whatever, they were like held up. And then once they did that, just one simple thing of like, no, this is not going to play out like this. All of a sudden, they're like catapulted to the future. So for me, what I'm going to tell you in this is that none of this has to do with you. This has to do with you. This has to do with something like you're here sitting, drinking your tea, none the wiser of what the hell is going on in the background, because this is not a you problem. You did your part. You said no, or you pushed the papers like you needed to, or you signed, or you reported, whatever it is that you had to do, you did that. That's done. Your hands are washed. That's not a you thing. This is, in this part of the reading, you are just a lady chilling with her family and her pets. Then there's so much other things going on in the background. But over here, what they want to tell you is that this situation was actually holding up some kind of blessing and movement forward where you're supposed to be connecting to soul family. It was holding you up in that. And I think it's because it had You had to prove that you were ready to close this door so that you can move forward. So the reason it's showing up in your reading is saying, hey, good job. You are now an initiate because you finally understood the assignment and closed this cycle. So I guess I want to tell somebody, congratulations, whatever small thing you did last week, which for you was like, okay, you know, like no big deal. It's just something you had to do, was the thing you had to do to close out a cycle. And now you're moving into the next chapter. I hope this makes sense. I think that this is specifically for whoever could stay here till the end, because this reading was very confusing in the beginning. So somebody might have been able to, I might have lost a lot of people in the beginning. And I think they do that on purpose because they want for you to know, whoever's here till the end, this was specifically about you. I hope this helps.